All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to talk about the fight tonight, George Kambosos versus Devin Haney for the undisputed title. Have a lot of people making predictions, and one in particular I think I'm going to go out on a limb and agree with, which is Shakur Stevenson. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're talking about the undisputed lightweight championship fight that will be taking place this evening on ESPN between Devin the Dream Haney and George Kambosos for all of the belts: the WBC belt, the IBF belt, the WBA belt, and the WBO belt. Now, before I get into the prediction, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your support. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. We have good daily conversations about boxing on a daily basis, so you should definitely have, good conversations that can be had. And so let's get into this. Shakur Stevenson, who is the 130-pound champion, for the, I do believe, the WBO and the WBC belt, just won it off of when he won a unification fight against the former WBC champion at 130 pounds, or junior lightweight division, Oscar Valdez, said that he bet $17,000 on Devin Haney to win. He also said that the way that he thinks the fight is going to go is that Devin Haney is going to utilize underestimated power to stop George Kambosos. So I thought about it, and I've seen George Kambosos fight. I obviously have seen Devin Haney fight a bunch of times. And I'm going to tell you, I think that I may agree with this one in this particular instance, because of what happened yesterday with George Kambosos coming in and taking a couple opportunities for him to make weight. The camps are saying that he looked bone dry, and when you're 0.36 pounds overweight, you have to strip all the way down. That's not purposeful. But more than the weight itself is the excuse that he made for that. I think George Kambosos is lost in the moment. I think that, when he came in and he fought Teofimo Lopez, that, he was in a can't lose type of situation. Also, you had Teofimo Lopez, who was not necessarily in the best shape going into that fight. The fight had been delayed a bunch of times, had different promotional issues, had different issues with his wife, all kind of stuff going on around Teofimo Lopez, including a healthy dose of arrogance about what he was, where he was as far as being a fighter. George Kambosos, I think, could be suffering from a lot of these same things, where he is was really into playing a lot of silly games with Devin Haney, all the conversations about being a snitch, this, that, and the other thing. It seems to me that he's got, that his head is not completely into the game. I don't know if he was being serious about it being a mind game, about him missing weight, dude, then, why tell people afterward that it's a mind game? Why not miss your weight on your first go, come back and make it again, and they just have these guys feel like, you're drained and you're weak, and get confident about it and keep pushing, right? Telling somebody out in public that it's a mind game, to me, seems like you're just trying to save face. That's what it looks like to me. And plus, all that game plan and all this stuff. I mean, at this point in time, in this situation, Devin Haney ain't playing games. Devin Haney is out there, has been training since he was a little kid. As far as his technical ability and all of that is on point. He's one of the best, most sound fighters and talented fighters in the game. The only question is whether or not he has knockout power, right? In this particular fight, what I think is going to happen is that Devin Haney is going to, at a certain point in time, really start sitting down on George Kambosos and going to George Kambosos' body from the beginning, wearing him down, breaking him down, similar to the way that Jermell Charlo did it with Brian Castano, breaking his body down with body shots, and because Devin Haney very well may not have one punch knockout power with the shot. However, he does have good enough power to keep people off of him. And if he concentrates on George Kambosos' body, specifically where, with him not making weight, I think he can break him down over the courses of the rounds and wind up stopping George Kambosos. So I'm going to go with that is what I think will happen. Because, I'm sure that those guys know that there's a chance of him getting robbed in Australia. Not saying that Australia is more likely to rob somebody than, getting robbed than somewhere else, right? Because people get robbed in Texas, right? People get robbed in Las Vegas. People get robbed in fights that happen in the UK. The question is, though, is George Kambosos going to cross the finish line in order to be able to take advantage of whatever type of thing that they may give, whatever type of favoritism he may give. Devin Haney most definitely has the ability to cut that crowd out of it by being able to hit George Kambosos and then make George Kambosos miss him. But I think what they're going to do is I think that they really are going to sit down and try to beat that man up over the course of the fight. And 12 rounds, if you have not made weight, you had to drain yourself in order to make the weight because you weren't taking care of business for one reason or the other. That could encourage it and exacerbate the problem of Devin Haney going at that body, following the examples of other guys like Shakur Stevenson. When he needed that against Oscar Valdez, that's what he did. He made sure he went to that body, emptied that dude's gas tank, was not able to stop Oscar Valdez, but was able to, make it, prevent Oscar Valdez from ever really making any major pushes at him. And I know that, and I trust that George Kambosos has good hand speed and all of that. How long is that speed going to be there if that body is getting taken away? And if you're going into that fight dehydrated? And also you've got Devin, who has had multiple, even though people may not like how he got his belt, he's had that belt for several fights. He's defended that belt several times. So, this is not his first time at the rodeo as far as being in a championship fight. It may be his first time fighting in front of, I don't know how many people are going to be there, say 50,000 people are going to be there, but this is also going to be George Kambosos' first time fighting in front of 50,000 people. And you don't know how that may affect George Kambosos and George Kambosos' ability to fight, knowing he's got all that hometown pressure on him. There are people that have said that they really do prefer not to fight at home. They prefer to fight on the road because of all the pressures that they get fighting in their hometown with people asking for tickets, people, the pressure of performing in front of the home crowd. So I think all of that stuff is going to get the best. My prediction is that that's going to get the best of George Kambosos. Devin Haney is going to know the importance of wearing that dude's body down and getting him worn out. And I think he's got the ability to do that, and that is going to be the difference in the fight. And don't see it going to a decision. If it does go to a decision, then hey man, that's all up in the air, but the judges are out of people's control, and Devin can't do anything about what the judges are going to do other than not really give them a lot to work with. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.